All right, so you should have got a notice that we're recording this session, so I'm going to say the welcome again. Welcome to Catalyst 2030, Upskilling Students and Uplifting Communities to Achieve the SDGs. And SDGs is the UN Sustainable Development Goals. So today we're going to do this presentation in a slightly unorthodox way. I'm here in my capacity as the managing director of the SURE program at University of Houston, and SURE stands for Stimulating Urban Renewal Through Entrepreneurship. So this is me, Charlie Becker. I was actually a consultant in the spring of 2016. I'm now a professor at University of Houston Bauer College of Business. In my last semester, I took the course that we're going to talk about today, and it so dramatically changed the way I look at business and what a business school can be for the community and its students, that I actually turned down the job I was going to go to and started writing grants for Dr. Saliha Kumuwala instead. She's the founding director of our program, who is unable to be here with us this afternoon. So I'm just going to give an extremely brief introduction to the SURE program with what is the SURE model. And this is our agenda today. After I do that, we're actually going to hear from our stakeholders. And so I brought 6 stakeholders with me today. Not all of them are on the call just yet. 2 of them are entrepreneurs and they're very busy, so they may not be able to make it just in time for their part. But we're going to actually let the stakeholders speak first, and then I'm going to come in afterwards and fill in the gaps. And hopefully at the end of the hour, we can answer any questions that you may have left over. And there's Dr. Saliha Kumuwala in the picture there. Just last weekend, we launched the Center for Economic Inclusion, which is a large center of excellence at the University of Houston, which is going to be the future home of the SURE program. And we're going to build programs around the SURE program and spread the SURE model to other universities. So the SURE model. SURE connects University of Houston students, under-resourced entrepreneurs, and Houston business experts for a singular educational experience and unmatched community impact. And what does that look like? Well, I brought pictures. We actually have University of Houston students. We train them for a few weeks on how to be consultants. And then they are joined by entrepreneurs from the community. And unlike other programs where a team of students works with a single business, in our class, each student gets 3 to 5 entrepreneurs that they work with. And we're investing in the entrepreneur as a person, not the business. We care more about who they are when they apply and less about what their idea is, because we believe that they have the right solutions for their communities. And finally, we bring in experts to train both the students and the entrepreneurs. It's bi-directional, so the experts get a lot out of it, and the students do as well. The students act as consultants for the entrepreneurs, the experts teach to the entrepreneurs, and the students fill in all the gaps between what the entrepreneurs are learning and what the entrepreneurs need to write their business plan. At the end of the semester, we have a pitch day where our experts come back and act as judges. We actually call it the aquarium because it's like Shark Tank, but friendlier. And the judges give feedback. The feedback is supposed to be styled in how can we help you and not are you cut from the right cloth. So it's a really fun day. It's Houston, Texas's biggest pitch day. In this last semester that just ended, we had 60 pitches in 3 hours, heard by about 30 judges. And so before I get into it anymore, what we want to do is we want to kind of give you a view all the way around the SURE program. And so the first person I'm going to ask to speak is actually someone who's been supporting us for a long time. It's Paul Watson. He's a venture partner at Climate Impact Capital in Austin. He's been a SURE advisory board member since 2015, and he has been unofficially advising Dr. Kumuwala since almost 2006. So he's been here for the whole journey, and he has a really excellent view on the long-term growth of the SURE program, what we've been able to accomplish, and as an investor and entrepreneur who takes a holistic look at the market, he really has an idea of what gaps that we're filling well. So Paul, if you would go ahead and share your experience working with the SURE program, I'm going to unshare so that everyone can see your face while you're talking.
Uh-oh. Hey, how's it going, everybody? And great to, actually, it's funny because she was my, I wanted to get into investment banking and I needed the accounting hours. So she approved my 300 level courses. And so she was teaching me for a very long time about proxies for transparency and really had an opportunity to learn about the precursor to the SURE program through the Study Abroad India program in 2002. We tried to get there in 2003 and really see this evolve from a microfinance idea that was being explored in the from Ahmedabad to Bombay. We spent 2 summers there. Coincidentally, I ended up meeting the contact that got me the job at KPMG in China. So most of my background has been venture capital and M&A. I spent 4 years doing corporate finance and M&A with KPMG in China, and then a year doing clean energy consulting for a consortium of entities. And so when I had the opportunity to see what had transpired, it was quite amazing, because it came from an idea of really microfinance and micro lending, and she'd evolved it to an entire educational platform where not only was it about lending in economically diverse areas, but it was really about education, and that was a big part of it. Understanding credit, understanding how to balance your checkbook, understanding the basic things about taxes, and interestingly enough, because my background evolved into more venture capital and working with companies and growing them, I had the opportunity to see so many different companies and really innovative entrepreneurs come through that even now I'm still getting emails from some, and then from this last cohort, we still have I think some really innovative companies and awesome opportunities. So I'm really excited now even to see how hard. I mean, nobody can understand how much Saliha has worked for this, through internal challenges, through lack of funding, and she has always remained consistent since 2002, 2003, when the idea. So I just feel privileged to be a part of such enthusiasm and passion, because she's really altruistic, and everything that climate impact capital does in energy, food, and water is a very direct result of what I've learned through watching her and nonprofit and accounting, and really kind of trying to drive the social impact element of it. And now we get to see some really innovative companies, and it's very much like venture capital, because we're looking at these companies at a micro level, and hopefully we can take a more active role as CIC continues to develop. But look forward to seeing what the world is going to have store for us now that we have a platform like the Center for Economic Inclusion. I mean, this is going to be amazing. And now what CIC is working on the energy space, we need to develop a trade skill workforce in high schools. So can you imagine really what the future is going to hold for just the greater city of Houston, but not only how it's going to resonate nationally and globally. So from the way the stars are aligning, I'm just really, overjoyed to have seen it come this far, and still, letting us have an active part and a role in the development of the program. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you, team.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, and it's always so cool to hear about the big, we're so in it sometimes. It's really cool to hear about the big landscape and how many different kinds of cool projects Dr. Kumwala has inspired. So thank you, Paul. Next, we would not be able to do what we do at the SURE program without some of our awesome corporate partners. Every semester, EY sends some of their accountants to actually look over the business plans that the SURE entrepreneurs are developing, and to work with the SURE student consultants to make sure that that the entrepreneurs are getting the best feedback possible. They've also helped us build up our accounting and finance curriculum. Joining us today from EY is Raza Khan, an audit partner, and I know that he has been close to Dr. Kumwala for some time and advising her on the SURE program. And so we would love to hear about your experience with the SURE program and what you think of what it's doing in the community. Similarly to before, I'm going to unshare so people can see your face.
Yeah, I think that would be good. Thanks, Charles. And, I think the best part of all this is the passion. I mean, Paul just spoke about all the passion that Dr. Kumawala brings to the table, and it's just not her. I mean, it's the entire team that you guys bring a lot of passion, and it's just an amazing aspect from our standpoint to be part of sure. I mean, like Paul, I took actually Dr. Kumawala's course back when I was in accounting program at the Bauer Business School. So I go a long way back, and I didn't get involved in this until like probably 5 years ago or 4 years ago. But it's just, the way we think about it at EY, the value system we think about, all the values for sure program just falls right in the fairway, right? We think about, empowering the local communities. We think about diversity and inclusion and equity. We're thinking about, mentorship, financial literacy, all of those, combined from our standpoint, our big tagline is building a better working world. And how do you do that? You do through all those things I mentioned. And then if you look at the SURE program, that's exactly what it's doing, right? It's making, empowering our community. It's giving financial literacy. So it's just so amazing to see the growth in the program, all the passion that comes through Dr. Kumawala and the entire team. And we couldn't be any prouder to be part of this great program. I mean, EY, has long been, we have this entrepreneurship program that we sponsor throughout the world, where we bring on some of the best entrepreneurs, and that's how the American growth is through entrepreneurship. And to me, when I look at the SURE program, that's just an incubator of that entrepreneurship program that we do. But all these big corporations that we serve, like, you take Netflix, Google, all those companies started in the garage, and we were there with them in those basements and garages, working with them. And I think you see some of these leaders, and I've have the luxury or fortune to attend some of these meetings, meet some of the entrepreneurs, meet some of these students. And these are extremely smart people. I mean, these are, with some help, I mean, they're making a lot of things change. So, just to feel that, hey, you're part of this change just makes us very proud. And I couldn't be more happier to be part of this program. And I really want to thank all of you guys who are doing a lot of hard work to make this program a success. So, I think that's all I had.
Excellent. Thank you so much. It's
Thank
awesome.
you.
It's awesome to get the perspective of our partners and see how everything fits in a broader context here, what we're doing.
I would tell you one other thing is that, I know there's different level of sponsorships, and we know there's obviously monetary sponsorship. But when our professionals, and like Charles, you talked about earlier, where we come out and we spend a day with entrepreneurs and students, and I would tell you, many of our professionals every year sign up for it, recurring people, right? They've been there before, they want to do this, and they tell me that they get so much more out of this than the students and the entrepreneurs. So I would tell you that we love to be part of that program.
That's good to hear. They tell me, but hearing it from you, means more.
Because it's hard to recruit people when you're like want people to go out there somewhere on Saturday, when our people are working Saturdays a lot. But I think for this one, it feels like we can fill that lineup pretty quickly. So that's pretty telling.
Awesome. Well, thank you. EY has been a great partner.
Thank you.
And so next, we're going to hear from one of our entrepreneurs. And so this is someone who's actually been through the program. Arnisha Sadler is the founder of Emily's Call Center. She was a SURE entrepreneur in the fall 2019. Since then, what has she not done? And so I'm going to unshare, because never to be unprepared. Arnisha sometimes brings her own slides, but just in case, I'm going to unshare so that you can see her. Arnisha, I think we're having a bit of audio problems. Okay, no sound yet.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, now we can hear you.
Okay, sorry about that. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to share my experience regarding the SURE program with everyone. And I wanted, is it okay if I share my screen?
You should be able to share your screen.
Can you, you wanted me to share my screen?
If you're able to, you can.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, if you have something, you can.
Let me see. It should show. Let's see. Okay, yes. Let me know when you can see it. Let's see here. Oh, do you have to have you given me the, what do they call, access to do it?
Yes.
Okay. And I have to, okay. I know I'm doing something wrong here. Okay, here we go. Share screen. There we go. I think this is it. Share screen and then presentation. Is it sharing it?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Okay, thank you so much for your patience. I sincerely appreciate that. Okay, so my name is Arnisha Sadler, and I am the founder and the CEO of M&E's Call Center, where we provide call center services to businesses that need inbound and outbound call services. And thank you so much for this opportunity for me to share with you my experience regarding the SURE program. And so the SURE program since has been committed to helping, in the 10-year history, it has helped over 600 businesses, entrepreneurs build their businesses, their network, their wealth, and their community. And so let me tell you why I'm sure that this is a great program, because I started my entrepreneur journey in 2017. My daughter and I, we were homeless due to domestic violence, and we were at a shelter, but then I moved into a motel room. And then shortly after that, my money was running out. I needed a job and I couldn't find a job. And so I had this crazy idea to start my own business. And I applied for the HCC business plan competition, but my application was rejected and denied. So I tried to apply again for a second year, and my application was rejected and denied for a second time in a row. But then someone told me about the SURE program and all these great benefits, and that it was a free program, but it would only just cost me my time, hard work, and total commitment. And so I said, okay, sure, I'm in it. Let's go for it. I was super excited. And in spite of my fear and lack of confidence because of my past rejections from other programs, I still applied. And to my surprise, I was accepted into the fall 2019 class. And I'm happy because the SURE program was the first of its kind to believe in me, and that gave me the chance and the opportunity to really take on this entrepreneur journey. Shortly after the program, 2020 came around, the pandemic hit, and also this would be the third year that I would be applying for the ACC business plan competition again. So I applied and I got denied again. Here's the denial email for the third year, third time in a row. And I was thinking, oh my goodness, bummer, right? I'm just gonna apply again for a fourth time. But I did not have to apply for a fourth time, because a week after I received my denial email, I got a phone call that said my application had been reconsidered, and I was offered a position in the business plan competition. And I know that it was thanks to the SURE program that I had a well thought out, polished business plan that not only allowed me to get into the business plan competition with HCC, but also I won honorable mention and prize money for my business. And I also serve as an advisor on the business plan competition for this year as well. So I'm happy about that. The SURE program, it taught me how to structure a sustainable and scalable business that went on to win Houston Business Journal 40 Under 40 Award and Women Who Mean Business in 2021. for both of these awards in the same year. And what I also really love most about the SHIP program, that it doesn't just end after graduation. The program will still have ongoing support through educational workshops, networking events, and shared resources and opportunities. I was recently invited to a meeting with the with Wells Fargo CEO Charles Shurf to discuss the future plans of the SHIP program and the success of the program. And this also contributed to the launch of the Center for Economic Inclusion that was launched on this past Saturday, May the 7th. So we really enjoyed that. So this is a great program, and thank you so much for the time and allow me to share my success and my story with you regarding the SHIP program. And that's it. You guys have a good one. Thanks.
Thank you, Arnisha. That was amazing. I always love hearing your story, even though I've heard it before. And every time I hear it, I hear a new ripple I didn't know before. Okay, so thank you, Arnisha. And next we have Ms. Legina Harris. She's the founder of the Us Space, a sure entrepreneur from spring 2021, who has also been making moves in the time since then. So I'm going to unshare so that they can see you, Legina.
Hi, y'all. Thanks, Charlie. Hi, Dr. K. Thank you for having me here today. So as Charlie said, I am the founder of the Us Space, which is creating intentional innovation spaces for women of color, women-led businesses, and women-centric organizations to thrive through our 5 pillars that guide everything we do at the Us Space, which are prosperity, programming, productivity, professionalism, and partnerships. So the Us Space is a lightning rod for our collective to have increasing opportunities to be found, seen, heard, and understood, and also for others to find our goods and services. We are intentionally simplifying complex and mundane obstacles for our women to really go out there and scale and thrive in their businesses. We are an inclusive community for everyone, but the table is built for women of color specifically in mind. And we're positioned to be a sought after place to find definitive groups of professionals for every business, organization, and individual's needs. So cool. So how did I get to that? Well, one of my starting points was the SHIP program, of course. And it really started because I was like super struggling over here trying to find my business footing. And I was like, I need interns, because right, that's the first answer is like, you need help. So I actually called Charlie thinking that the SHIP program was like a whole bunch of interns. And Charlie was like, no, that's not what it is. He's like, tell me about your business. So Charlie and I had like a whole hour conversation about the Us Space and what I was doing. And he really encouraged me to apply for the SHIP program. Of course, this is during COVID. This was in like November, December of 2020. And I was like, okay, yeah, maybe. And so I applied. Of course, I got in for spring 2021. And one thing that I can say is that reflecting back, I appreciate like knowing how big and vast the SHIP program is now, how accessible Charlie was in the moment. Like I would have thought that there was like a 10,000 person team and they were only handling like 2 cohorts. Like we just sat there and talked for a whole hour. I never felt rushed, and he really helped me have the confidence to apply for the SHIP program. So during the SHIP program, I struggled. I struggled so much for various reasons, converting to an online platform for the SHIP program. And I did what we call the Houston trifecta. I did SHIR, I did HCC, and I did the Houston Area Urban League all at the same time. But one of the things that was my guiding light is like the connection that SHIR gave me to SCORE. Because, you hear SBA, you hear SCORE, they're these big entities, but SHIR gave us this direct line to SCORE, and somebody who has been very pivotal in helping me really fine tune and always edit my business plan. Scott Holiday, I always shout him out. He's SCORE, he's here in Houston, love him. And then after that, I finished the program. I finished HCC's program. I got almost into the top 8. And then for the Houston Area Urban League, the Hall program, I actually won the competition for spring 2021. And I feel like one of the reasons I won, not only being prepared and doing all the things, but in the chat, because it was virtual, everybody in the chat was like, she's SURE alum. So it was like maybe 5 different cohorts of SURE alum recognizing that I had just finished the program. And it was this really boost of confidence. So it was like I was pitching to a whole bunch of homies. So it was so great. I won the competition. It was a big blessing. And then what I always tell people is like the SURE program is amazing. Being a part of it, it's really pivotal to a lot of people's businesses. But the Mecca is the alumni network on the other side. So I'm like, keep your head down, focus, get to the alumni network. And being over there now with Arnisha, and that's why she's smiling, is like, we're both part of the SURE alumni leadership team. We're both part of the networking committee. And it is just so beautiful. It's over 600 alum. And like you run into random business people in the city and you're like, you're SURE, I'm SURE. And it's like, you're SURE together and you surely get help, right? And it's just been so beautiful. And since I've became an alum and got into the Mecca of the alumni network, I have signed a major partnership for physical space before we've gotten our full funding. I just got a major partnership for an online platform to extend our digital footprint for our collective. I work with several city entities or community entities to do programming all over the city. I am part of 2 fellowships right now, the Luminary Indeed Fellowship and the BGV Fellowship, as well as just got into a major accelerator. They haven't done the press release yet, so I still can't say the name of it, but it's good. It's really good. And all of this like stemmed off from, you know, talking to Charlie on the phone one day, going to San Angelo, Texas to visit my mom, and him encouraging me to apply for the SURE program. So my takeaway and what I want to tell entrepreneurs and people that know entrepreneurs or need partnerships or understand the great asset that SURE is one, for entrepreneurs, the goal is to apply, get in, complete it, and get to the power of the alumni network. It is phenomenal. And, you know, you still get access to Dr. K, Dr. Esther, and Charlie. So those are big deals. And then, you know, you also get the power of all of these alum. And then, you know, if you are a contributor, a sponsor, a donor, somebody that's interested in partnering, reach out. We are people that are worth sowing seeds into, and the SURE program does that. And so it's a great place to foster that. My claim is I'm not getting paid to say any of this. This is real. And then also because I learned from the SURE program, when you get an opportunity on the platform, have an ask. And my ask is always follow the us space and watch us grow. Talk us up in rooms that we may not be in, and you can follow us at _ the us space on Instagram, or go to theusspace.com and you can find all our information. And again, Dr. K, Charlie, I appreciate you. Arnisha, I appreciate you as well. And yeah, thank you for the time, y'all.
Thank you, Regina. That's always gratifying to see an entrepreneur pitch and they have an ask at the end, you know? So I love doing that. It's something we really harp on within the program. So Arnisha and Legina are fantastic examples of SURE entrepreneurs. There's 2 of our biggest advocates and biggest successes, you know, and so far with them, we've heard from entrepreneurs and we've heard from resource partners, but next we want to hear from a couple of the people who really make the SURE program go, and that's our student consultants. And so first of 2, we're going to be hearing from Freddie Rodriguez, who's a Master of Science in Finance, and he actually just finished the SURE program last week, or 2 or 3 weeks ago. And so he's brand new, fresh, and he's going to give the perspective from a student consultant.
Yeah, thanks, Professor Becker. So like Professor Becker said, I'm a Master's of Finance student, concentrated in asset management. I'm towards the end of my program, and I really wanted to get some hands-on experience. You know, it's obviously a good thing to have on your resume, but it's much more than that. It's much more than just a resume line on your resume. It's actually very impactful program for me, for everyone involved in the entrepreneurs, especially. for me personally, so when I first started, I had a bit of like an imposter syndrome kind of going on. The first few weeks of Sure, they actually have a couple of lectures for the consultants, the student consultants, before the entrepreneurs show up, and it's revolved around communication skills. It's revolved around leadership skills, and how to really kind of be tactful in your feedback with the entrepreneurs. So a lot of times the entrepreneurs, they come into the program with their ideas and their babies. You know, they want to see their businesses grow, and so it's kind of an honor for a student to be able to be given the opportunity to kind of help them grow their baby. So almost like a parent would, I guess you could say. And I'm a parent, actually. I have a 2-year-old daughter. So my entrepreneurs, they work with children. They were educators. All of them were educators, and very interesting and social aspects to their business. One of them was had a tutoring business. Another one wrote children's books for the African American community in particular, which was very interesting. It's a niche market there, and I helped her along with the SCORE mentor, the SCORE mentors, to segment and to kind of give her business, show her that she had a differentiation there, writing the African American books with, in particular, with comprehension questions in the back, which is different than your typical children's book, and that really set her business apart. And really, we helped her, and I helped her, you know, see that her business does have value. Her books have a lot of social value, and she can actually make a profit with her business. She can self-publish her books using Ingram Sparks. I learned a lot. She taught me a lot about how she goes about publishing a book, and how she has illustrators that she hires and editors that she hires, and creates a book. And essentially, a lot of people, she shows her book. I felt like she was kind of underselling herself, that she wasn't sure if she would be able to be viable. And you know, the Sure program really gave her a lot of confidence. She started seeing that she could do this, and that with the financial statements that we created, we showed her that, you know, she could make a profit, and she just needs to focus, and she did, and she felt like she was in a much better place by the end of the program. And same thing with my other entrepreneurs. They definitely really, some of them were a little bit more advanced. Andronese Thomas, she's had a tutoring business. She had already been in business for a few years, and was already profitable. She just really got to the next level. She really projected her next few years in hiring other tutors, and just gained her confidence there through the Sure program, and with my support, to kind of see that, you know what, like, your service is very valuable. You know, there's parents that don't have too much time to educate their, you know, to tutor their kids if they fall behind in class, and she's an excellent tutor, and so she could charge more money for her services. So seeing that she could charge more money for her services, especially for like special subjects, dyslexia in particular, I was able to show her that she can increase her revenues by 13% easily per year. So those are kind of like the bottom line things that I got out of the program. I was, you know, kind of thrown into the deep end, if you will. You kind of don't know what to do until you're in the middle of it, but it's exciting, and they count on you. The entrepreneurs count on the consultants. So it's not like a class where I can just say, you know what, I don't want to do my homework, I'll just take a B or something. Like, these entrepreneurs, they're really counting on the consultants, and it really causes students to really stand up and to really help. So it was a fantastic program.
Awesome, Freddie. Thanks for sharing your experience. And actually, what's cool is, like, everything Freddie is saying was resonating with me, even though I was gone for 3 months of this semester, and I was not actually his professor. And I'm still like, wow, yes, he gets it. So that's a really cool experience. So thank you so much for sharing all that. And we have one more student consultant, Ana Vallejo. She is a undergraduate accounting and finance major, and she also just came off her semester with the Sure program. So Ana?
Hi everyone, my name is Ana Viejo and I'm a junior undergraduate student majoring in accounting and finance, and I'm doing a focus in global energy management. I'm very happy to be here today to talk about my experience in the SURE program. So this past semester, I was a student consultant for 3 entrepreneurs in the food industry, and I was able to help them with writing their business plan, marketing strategies, and to prepare their financial statements for when they're pitching to bankers. So although they definitely did all of the work, I was there to guide them, offer advice, and to reassure them on their progress. And I feel very lucky to have been a part of their SURE journey, and I can't wait to see what they do in the future. One of the most important things I learned in the program was to speak more confidently. As an undergraduate student, I also felt that imposter syndrome that Freddie was talking about. And I think the consultant training really helped with that. But I think what helped the most was just actually having my entrepreneurs to talk with and to just do it and learn by doing. So this class was very different from my other courses. Most of my other classes are textbook and test-based, and most of the work is individual. Although there's definitely value to that type of learning, and it's important for when we're going to go in the workforce later on, I think it's also important to have courses like the SURE program where you can actually apply that learning and be more involved with your community and get to know some of the entrepreneurs in the Houston area. In SURE, I was able to develop empathy, attentive listening, and time management, which are all skills that are transferable, not just for my future career, but also for my personal life. One of my favorite moments in the class was when one of my entrepreneurs won the Best Business Award for Pitch Day, during Pitch Day. It was so great to see her get recognized for all the work that she put in, especially knowing how much time she put into her pitch, practicing her pitch. So during the semester, I was able to meet a lot of other classmates. I got to know a lot of the entrepreneurs that I sat with and just around while we're getting food. And I also learned about all of the resources that are available to small business owners. Although I've always had a dream of being a business owner myself, I didn't really think it was something that I would be able to do in the future. But seeing how much help and assistance there is for small business owners made me realize that you don't have to quit your job, be incredibly wealthy, or wait for the right time to start the business. I've recommended this class to many of my friends, and several who have already enrolled. The great thing about SURE is that it's helpful for really any kind of student with a lot of different types of career goals. If they want to be an entrepreneur in the future, or if they want to have a career in consulting, or if they just simply want to increase their interpersonal skills, all of that is something that SURE helps with. Since SURE is a class that gives us course credit, it's not an additional tight commitment, and it's just a substitute for another class that we would take for a degree. So it's definitely something that made it possible for me to fit it into my schedule as a student. Being in the SURE program was one of my favorite college experiences so far, and it's already helped me a lot when I'm interviewing or writing essays for scholarships. And I'm definitely very grateful for all the skills and experiences I gained in this program. Thank you all for letting me share my experience.
And that was awesome. Excellent. Was your entrepreneur Shayna?
She was.
Oh man, she crushed it. Okay.
She's the best, yeah.
We have a pitch competition at the end of the semester, pitch day, and Anna's entrepreneur was Shayna. And like I said, there were 60 pitches, and so all the judges in the 3 separate rooms where pitches happen vote on their favorite pitch and their favorite business. And Shayna, her entrepreneur, won one of those awards. And so then when we had our graduation ceremony 2 weeks later with like something north of 600 people in the audience, Shayna was very brave. I could tell as the MC standing by the podium that she was not comfortable at that podium, but she was very brave and she crushed her pitch from memory, she was one of the only speakers who spoke that day from memory of like the 20 speakers we had. So you did a great job practicing with her. And so what this is a little different than what we normally do, where we had the stakeholders talk first. So now I think, what questions might someone still have about the SURE program and the SURE model after hearing this? And so the first would be, is the SURE model proven? And so I put up the slide with the list of the awards that the SURE program has won. The kids call this a flex, like a brag. And so these are all of our awards. I don't do this to say how great we are. I just do this to say people have really closely inspected what we're doing, and everyone from the neighborhood, city, state, federal, global level accrediting bodies, educational and business organizations have all taken really deep dives into what we do and said, wow, you're really doing something here. And so this is just kind of the social proof for you that this is an experimental and unorthodox, but also it's proven. And you might say, how do we organize what we're doing? What are the goals? Well, first, we want to train students in the human-centered skills they need, which I think you've heard about today. And second, we want to economically empower entrepreneurs in under-resourced communities. The kind of long tortured analogy I like to use is people say, give someone a fish and they eat for a day, teach them to fish and they eat for a lifetime. Well, we are teaching people to teach people to fish, because every entrepreneur who comes to the SURE program is then going around and talking about what they learned in the SURE program and how they're able to build businesses, and they're helping other people build businesses, and they're sending people back to the SURE program. And in some cases, they're literally quite literally starting business development programs, like Legina you heard from today, who has a fantastic co-working space that has so many more wraparound services for entrepreneurs and professionals. So who signs up for SURE? Well, you heard from 3 different populations today: entrepreneurs, Houston business community, and student consultants. And over the course of the semester, we structure these 3 groups interacting together in a lot of different ways. First, as both of the consultants told you, Dr. Gumwala, Dr. Bailey, and myself, we train the students in the early part of the semester on what it means to be a consultant. Then we bring in about 30 volunteers, sometimes more, sometimes less, for what we call Guru Day, where at the end of every semester, the students write a case on what it was like to work with their entrepreneurs. And then at the beginning of the next semester, we select the best cases, and professionals work through these cases with the students. And so even professionals who aren't familiar with the SURE program can do things like triage business issues, and more importantly, triage communication and personality issues. And so the students are getting reps working through this, and they're also building their network with the gurus. Then each student is assigned 3 to 5 entrepreneurs. If you see this gentleman in the blue blazer with the red around his neck, that was a student. The other 5 people at the table were his entrepreneurs that semester. The gentleman with the white shirt and the black hat is now the official caterer for the SURE program. He makes dynamite jambalaya and chicken and waffles and everything else. He makes really good, really healthy stuff too, but the chicken and waffles and the jambalaya are really like chef's kiss. After that, we bring on experts to lecture to the mixed audience. And so if you see like the table in the top right, all those tables in the bottom left, we're in a new room now, but the layout is similar, where each table has a consultant and their entrepreneurs, and the lecturers come and lecture, and then there's time for them to work together at these tables. While we were on Zoom, we did it similarly, just with the main room and breakout rooms. And now we kind of have a hybrid where we do most of our classes in person, but we can also do it on Zoom when need be or for certain topics. And finally, there are experts brought in to lecture or to help directly with the entrepreneurs or consultants when they need it. So for one-on-one help, if there's something that a domain expert is needed that's outside of a consultant's abilities or wheelhouse, we'll bring in an expert. Likewise, if a consultant needs specific expertise on some kind of software or technique, they go to them. So you've heard why people participate in SURE from the participants themselves, but just to distill it and synthesize, students receive real-world experience and develop critical skills and earn course credit by consulting with up to 5 local entrepreneurs. And like students, the entrepreneurs and the experts each get something out by putting something in. So the entrepreneurs receive world-class business education, one-on-one consulting from students and experts, and build key professional relationships. And they do this by opening up their business and building a granular, tailored business plans to their purpose. And Houston business community members receive opportunities to make a material difference in their local community and some branding opportunity by contributing expertise and resources. So what is SURE's impact? We've educated over 1,400 people. We've launched or expanded over 550 businesses. 77% of the entrepreneurs are Black or Latinx. The average age of the entrepreneur is 41. When they signed up, 63% of the entrepreneurs were below the HUD low income level. 93% of entrepreneurs are referrals. So that means that the people who sign up for the first time, 93% were referred by a partner or another entrepreneur. And this is like, for me, the most gratifying part of the program is we actually do 0 marketing of any kind. You know, every once in a while, someone will sign up and I'm like, how'd you hear about us? And they're like, on the radio. And I just have to put an other in their application box because we've never done a radio commercial, you know, but for the most part, what we do is we just let the entrepreneurs who've been through the program go out in the community and just be themselves. And they end up sending people back to the program just because the other people witness the enthusiasm and the success that they've had as a result. Or not always directly as a result, but after the program. 98% say the program improved their financial literacy at home and in their business. And most importantly, $0 were paid by the entrepreneurs over the course of this program. Sometimes they get together and donate some money at the end of the semester, you know, as like a gratitude thing, but we don't ask for money from the entrepreneurs. So what's the future of SURE? We just launched the Center for Economic Inclusion, which scales operations here in Houston. And we're also building a cohort program for educators who want to learn how to launch a SURE program model or a SURE model-based program at their school. We were recognized by the University Economic Development Association as one of the best ecosystems in the country and the only one in the Southwest or Texas. So we're starting a cohort program now to spread the SURE model nationally, where we're getting some schools locally who want to sit in on our classes and launch their own program. But we're also getting significant interest from abroad, from India, Indonesia, and Mexico. International schools are wanting to launch SURE programs, and so we're going to start doing that in this next calendar year. We're also, you know, as Dr. Bailey is our head of research, and we're really going to be able to ramp up our research at the intersection of experiential education, community engagement, and DEI, which stands for diversity, equity, and inclusion. These things are really important to us, and they're like the three main planks of what we do. So I just want to say thanks. This is our email if you have any questions, sure@uh.edu. And it looks like we have 10 minutes left. And so I'm going to check the chat for questions, but it's just all of us talking about how much we love the SURE program. Okay, but we have 10 minutes left. So does anyone have any questions who's been listening along?
Yeah, Charlie, when's the next cohort? When's the applications opening up?
Next cohort is in August.
In the applications?
Applications, what we're going to do is we're going to go back to how we did it before, where we're going to do the first class is going to be open, in person, and free for everybody. So instead of an application, we're going to do a huge, like 500-person in-person class, which is what we've done before. And that'll be part of an all-day expo, which actually we need to get together with the alumni and pick the right date for that. So you kind of preempted an email I'm sending probably on Monday.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's going to be like the morning event for like an all-day event with booths and vendor setup, and then a huge event we're doing with the government, a yet to be announced government body, where we're doing like a series of panels in the afternoon, with hopefully free lunch. But yeah, so that'll be in August or September, but most likely August. If no one else has any questions, Dr. Bailey, do you want to just talk for a minute about upcoming research ideas or projects that we might have?
Sure. Yeah. So we're really excited. Right now, most of the focus has been looking at lending. So looking at how small business lending has rolled out and potential discrimination in the lending market. So looking at gender discrimination and racial-ethnic discrimination. And what we're hoping to do is eventually it'll become iterative. So we'll look at the research, we'll figure out what's happening related to small businesses, related to lending, and then integrate that into the curriculum and kind of iterate over and over. Where we can kind of look at Houston as a microcosm, and then as we expand the SURE program out to other universities, look in other areas as well. So we're very excited about where we can go with that, and looking forward to how the entrepreneurs help us with that, help us understand the business environment.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, well, I guess that concludes our presentation for today.
Hi, Dr. Bailey. It's good to see you.
Hey, good to see everybody.
Yeah, everyone on the recording, I'll say that everyone crushed it. Everyone crushed it so far today. You know, great job, everyone. And thank you so much for everyone who came to hear the presentation. We really appreciate this. We're really looking forward to getting more plugged in with the Catalyst community. You know, Dr. Kumwala was really eager to make this presentation, but unfortunately it didn't happen. So she wanted to send her love and regards for the Catalyst community at large. And yeah, thank you. I'm going to drop the email one more time in the chat. And if you want to partner, if you're interested in joining that cohort community for educators and bring the SURE model to your campus, please reach out. We love to work with people. We've done COILs, or collaborative online international learning, with with Mexico and with the Institute in Mexico, with a group in Indonesia as well. So we really, in the age of Zoom, do not need to be bound by bureaucracy nor borders, right? But yeah, so thank everyone for coming out today. Thank you, Splendor, for being an awesome representative of Catalyst. And yeah, great job, everybody.
Thank you.